For today, we have special guest. Is our career mentor. And I think this will be very special events. Like if you have any question regarding for how to land a job, and our career mentor can give you very valuable advice. So in these sections, if you have any questions, feel free to post your question in the chat. And the recording of these events will be posted on the YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed our YouTube, I will post the link again. So you can subscribe our YouTube channels, and you will receive the most updated like events in that from that YouTube channel. So before the event start, I want to just give a quick introduction to our data scientist bootcamp. So if you are interested to join a data science bootcamp, and for the coming cohort, we have part-time start on November 28th, and the full-time will be start on January 15th, 2024. So normally in the most of the time, here is our student experience. First of all, they will join our bootcamp, and it could be the part-time or could be the full-time. We have, if it's full-time, will be 3 months is learning. For the part-time, will be 6 months is learning. So once you graduate from the bootcamp, you do have option to join the BIM data and get the real-world experience. The real-world experience is very important, and it will fill up the gap on your resume, and it will definitely give you a good opportunity to get more interview chances. And meanwhile, we do have our mentor available. Our career mentorship will provide one-on-one support, and they will provide job advice and polish our resume, give you some one-on-one interview, mock-up interviews. And you will receive offer. So that's just a scope on how our student land job. For the part-time, you will have 6 months bootcamp trainings, including 3 projects. One of them will be the web scraping projects, and another one will be the machine learning and deep learning project and big data project. After you graduate, and you will build experience via the real projects. And during that, in between, we do have a career week, and that's where we give you a guideline on how to create a resume and what you should be put on your resume. And also you will receive one-on-one mentorship. Okay. So for the full-time, there will be slightly difference, and it will be 3 months instead of 6 months. And you will learn the data fundamental, data scientist skills, machine learning, and big data. So you will enroll to the WeCloud project and the one-on-one mentorship. Okay. For the part-time, will be 6 months, and the client project will be optional, and you will still receive all the trainings, including the data scientist skills, machine learning, big data, and optional client project and one-on-one mentorship. Okay. So another thing I want to show you the difference between us and with other training schools, based on the survey from the Ministry of Canada, and we are like our student, 94.4 students graduate from our bootcamp, and only 5.6% is undergraduate. So undergraduate, and the employment rate is significantly high compared with other institute. We are 91% employment rate, and the employment in the data relevant fields will be 91%, which means if some student not able to land data job, they're only 9% in our bootcamp. Okay, so based on this data, and we have very strong and successful support to our student to land a job. So every student land job will be within 6 months, and also like most of them will be landed maybe a data scientist, data analysis, or data engineer jobs. Okay, so for our panelists, just before I introduce our panelists, and I just want to mention, so for the mentor, and our mentor are from different industry, and all of them are very senior, are in the senior positions, and some of them have like a like lots of experience in helping our student land a job, and we receive like each mentor help within 2 to 3 students, and every student able to land job within 6 months. And for today, and about actually, let me just check if our mentor.
Hey, hi Adam, I'm here.
Oh, great. Oh, hi, Sarah. Yeah, thank you for joining today's sections. And do you want to do a self-introduction to our audience?
Yeah, sure. So hello everyone. I'm glad to be here to share my experience and answer any questions you may have. So about myself, I started my career as a management trainee in IT consulting, and then moved on to become a business consultant, where I used to deliver actionable insights and growth strategies for companies across industries such as healthcare, retail, and financial services. During that period, I used to love backing my findings and recommendations with data. And that's when I started to explore more of data science and machine learning and started to look more towards predictive analytics. Currently, I'm part of the data science and advanced analytics team at Aldo. And I believe most of you must know Aldo. It's a retail company, mostly into footwear and accessories. So I own and lead the data science projects under 2 major buckets. One, optimizing business processes using data-driven decision making, and another would be personalizing customer experience at Aldo. Maybe I can give some examples of projects I work. So store and customer segmentation, pricing and promo optimization, demand forecasting, a recommendation engine. So an e-com recommendation engine to recommend similar styles when you search for products, so that you also see all the similar products or similar footwear and accessories on the page. And also work on market basket analysis, what products are bought together kind of analysis. And I also work on inventory planning and management. So like we use something like ABC analysis, EOQ models to like get the right products in the right store at the right time. So that's something I work on. So in my day-to-day, I work closely with a lot of business stakeholders from different departments, marketing, planning and allocation, e-com analytics, a lot of different departments. And then also the data engineering team. So we have a strong data engineering team, and I work closely with them, at times with the application teams too. And other than that, so I do mentor and support data analysts from teams like consumer experience, web analytics in my company. And I'm also part of the data council. So the data council is the data steering committee. So usually every organization have something like a data steering committee. So the major responsibility of this committee is like it is responsible for any data related initiative within an organization. And there are like it includes people from business, from IT, from data science. So it's a group of people who like take care of all the data related initiatives within the organization. Yeah, I think that should be good to know where I come from and what I do currently.
Okay, thank you for the self introductions. Yeah, so for our participations, and if you have any questions, because we have very senior or experienced like data relevant like a specialist, please feel free to answer any questions. If you're new to the industry, I do believe you have tons of questions as well. So please feel free to ask in this chat, and we definitely will answer the question you have. Okay, so let's actually I have a questions and from the chat. So actually, sorry, Sawa, do you want to answer the question or in the chat, or you want to go to the slides question first?
Yeah, I think we can go to the questions towards the end, because like
Okay.
maybe there are some duplicates and things, or we can aggregate together and answer. So that's why.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so let's move to the first questions. And so the first question is, can you tell us about your experience working as the career mentor? Like how long you've been working with been like a career, and how many students, or can you give us some examples? Like how many students has been successful land a job with your mentorship?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've had the privilege of mentoring aspiring data scientists, data analysts, and BI analysts for more than a year now. And I think I've placed more than 9 mentees till date. So I help my mentees set up their career in data analytics by supporting them to set realistic goals, like looking at their background, and so everybody has their own story, right? Like everybody has their own personal brand. So it's very important to set realistic goals. So I support them to set realistic goals, and then address any knowledge gaps in order to achieve that goal, and then help them navigate through challenges during the job seeking period. And I also have been able to provide valuable insider information, I would say, because I'm in the industry. I have friends in the industry. I've also been part of the hiring process. So I might give them some valuable information from that point, and also help my mentees identify their niche. So what kind of how they can position themselves in the job market. So that's what I say, identifying their niche. So yeah, so witnessing the growth and success of my mentees has been incredibly rewarding for me. And yeah, that's something about my experience working as a career mentor.
Okay, thank you. I think it's very important to get the support from mentor. Based our students' feedback, and lots of students talk, like I mentioned, our mentor able to give the very specific guideline on how to prepare for the interview. The challenge as for the interview, I believe, is there's tons of models or tons of area you can invest your time with to prepare for the interview. But in the realities, you don't need to you may waste your time to prepare something that may never gonna talk into that interview. So our mentor definitely gonna help you to narrow down the topics and the use cases and give you the best advice to make sure you can be confident to cover all the questions, but not over prepare, because on each preparations process, it could take sometimes take months, like a few months to go through that process. And the different job, they do have different requirements on the specialist. So our mentor definitely can add both give you the better guidelines, and also create the best advice on how to prepare for that. Okay. Yep. So let's move on to the next questions. So how does one-on-one career mentorship work? Can you just give us a little bit details, like how they schedules and what happens after the first workshop, and also any what they expect to get during this process? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So so it's called one-on-one career mentorship. because it is tailored according to individual mentee needs. The idea is to act as a launchpad for setting up careers in the field of data analytics. So maybe I can give an overview of how the mentorship progresses, what are the steps involved. So it starts with Eric, who is the head of vCareer, tagging the mentees to the right mentors. And then like a kickoff call is scheduled where so a kickoff call is scheduled where I work with the mentee to understand the mentee's needs and set goals and assess the strengths and areas of improvement, and also like create a personalized roadmap. Especially with career switchers and new grads, it is important for them to get a clarity on what are the differences between data positions, like a data analyst, a BI analyst, a BI engineer, a data scientist, so on, right? Like there are a lot of terminologies involved. So it is very important for them to know like what is the difference between these roles. And so other than that, like so what else happens in the kickoff is also like we try to understand like what is the gaps, like if there is any gaps, then it is better to start early. So once the gap is identified, then like I would help them with the right sources so that like they can start working on that. The next step would be a personal brand story. So it's basically to understand the mentee's journey and get a clarity of what value they can add in the job market, right? So it's mostly like where they come from, like what is their background, and like what they can offer in the job market, kind of like. And it's very valuable, and because like it helps you to like answer the like tell me about yourself in your interview. It also helps you to fill in, like the about section in LinkedIn, and so many like a lot of purposes. It's kind of a mission statement. And then the next one is the master resume. So the mentee comes up with the draft resume. So I work on the resume reviews, and then like we work together and finalize on the right format. So master resume. So what is master resume, right? So master resume is something which has like all the experiences you have, all the projects you have. It's kind of like a master file where you can pick and choose for your targeted jobs, right? So once you have the master resume, it can be like multiple pages, it's completely fine. Then you start working on like the targeted resumes by industry, by role, and as we have planned earlier, so we can look at like what targeted resumes you can work on. Say like we decided that retail is better for you, and maybe data science or BI analyst is better for you. So we tweak the resume and then prepare targeted resumes. The next step will be the LinkedIn profile. So so I would say LinkedIn is like quite underrated. Like people don't spend much time on that. But the moment a resume is received by a recruiter, the first thing they do is go and check your LinkedIn profile, right? So we try to optimize your LinkedIn profile, and then like parallelly start working on the portfolio, the project portfolio. So we try to evaluate the projects the mentee has, and then like evaluate the gaps in the like if they require to do any other additional projects, or whatever they have is good, and then like support them in executing those new projects. And also like maybe if they require the existing projects require any enhancements, so help them with that. And then like job application. So the next step would be to prepare them for applying for jobs. So like where to apply, how to apply, and then like when to apply. So there are a lot of things involved in job applications. And then job tracker. So we help them So WeCareer already offers a job tracker in their own platform. So students can, like mentees can start using that. So a job tracker is nothing but like you have a track of all the jobs you applied, and you can give them ratings and many other features are available. So you use the job tracker. The next is interview preparation. So once the applications and tracker is over, we move on to the interview preparation. So where we prepare for the first round, which is a screening round. So we practice behavioral questions and the common questions in screening, right? So kind of what would be the salary bandwidth and other like logistics like hybrid or remote or all those questions. So all this basic questions for the screening round. So like we have mock interview kind of rounds, like or also if not mock interview, the mentees come up with some answers, and like I try to provide them some feedback so we can like be prepared for the screening round. Then would be the industry knowledge. So once you start applying for jobs in specific industries, you might need like idea about how machine learning or a BI dashboard or how analytics works in these industries. So kind of provide knowledge on the industry side, and then like so that's something which happens. And then like yeah, similarly we prepare for the technical round, the hiring manager round, or like any case studies. And like so we have sessions, and like we do work on particular topics on each of the sessions. And once the mentee starts getting interviews, like then we do the interview analysis. So every time you have an interview, so it's better like it's good to do an analysis of like maybe you cleared it. So like we can do an analysis of what went well, and then it also use it to prepare for the next interview. Similarly, a mentee might get rejected, right? So then we try to analyze the cause of rejection and then like provide some constructive feedback and then work on that. So that's the interview analysis. And finally, the offer. So once the mentee receives the offer, so we help on the offer negotiation. Like mentors work on how to like get the best offer for their mentees. So yeah, there are some negotiation strategies. So we work on that, and then like finally closing the offer. And sometimes mentees do have multiple offers, so we do work on choosing the right offer for them, like looking at their background and like their skills, and then suggest like which would be better for their career. So yeah, I think that's an overview of one-on-one mentorship. And in terms of the like how these calls are scheduled, so I have my calendar with like, so I update it for the next few weeks with the available slots. And like mentees are like they can go and book their calls according to their availability. Usually the check-ins are like either weekly or bi-weekly. And yeah, so it goes step by step. So as we progress, we work on like tracking the progress and then addressing the challenges throughout. Yeah, so that's how a one-on-one career mentorship works.
Okay, great. That's so much information and lots of detail in saying. Yeah, I believe. I think. I feel like that's the best way to mention is on the different stage. Like you have different questions, and like our mentor, like Sarah mentioned tons of things, but you may not get imaging at this point because normally when you prepare for the interview or you go through the details, you will realize you missed that part. uh, like our mentor can help the most important thing is our mentor can help you save your time for the preparations because they know what you should do, and the only thing you need to do just book the appointment. Ask, for example, in the beginner stage, you are very confused or lost on which job, like which title you want to pick. our mentor will first off doing some like a basic like touchdown on your skills and your personal preference to pick help you to make some decisions, and also you can focus on the like working on the real client project, and when you receive when you receive an interview opportunities and based on your knowledge, and then our mentor will give you more information. So it's more like a stage by stage, and they probably let you prepare for everything on the first day is impossible. And so yeah, so our mentor will break down to small sections, and it depends on your stage. And definitely, we do want you to get enough support. So normally, I will say like it's probably weekly basis support. As long you are actively like looking for a job, our mentor will be there, and they will always give you the support. Okay, so let's move on to the next questions. Okay, how did your mentorship impact students' data careers?
Yeah, so the most important one would be reducing the time to secure a job in the data field. So I've been able to provide shortcuts that help mentees work more effectively and more effectively and avoid reinventing the wheel, right? So there are some tips which really help them rather than they go and search and find and then spend a lot of time on that. So those shortcuts, like templates and so many other things, and then like help to quickly learn the basics to move through the interview process, right? So maybe we can help, like mentors can help the mentees with like basic knowledge of some particular gaps they have within like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like through the interview process, right? Instead of them going and searching for a whole course in like Coursera or Udemy and then doing it and then getting to the interview. So that's something which would save time. And also, like as I earlier said, right, like providing insider info on like what kind of questions they can expect, how to present their work in the interview, and like whereas it's going to take a lot of time if they had to figure those things out themselves. So I would say reducing the time to job is the most important one. um, Another one would be like setting realistic goals. Like I see like mentees have trouble to like find the right because they're new to the data field. So might be they are not well exposed to the available career paths. So it's very important to help them set the realistic goals based on their strengths, interests, and background, and like have like use all these and like create a customized job search strategy to launch their career. So by working together like with them to do a right like positioning and right job search strategy from day one helps impacts the mentees job search. Other one would be better salaries. So I would say like I've been able to help mentees not leave money on the table with proper negotiation strategies. So um, yeah, they think it's the first they're just stepping into the data role. So they need like they don't feel so confident in negotiating. So it's important for the mentor to help them through that and to stay confident and not leave money on the table. So like it's always like the first offer is not always the best offer. So yeah, so we help like on a lot of strategies and then work to get them like better pace. So that yeah, so other than that, I think these would be the most tangible ones that I can think of.
Okay, great, thank you. I believe like all the sections with our mentor, there's tons of information. I think very important for everyone to write down the notes. Like the knowledge transfer is so valuable. because sometimes you may not realize it's very important, but you can go to the interview, you will remember, oh, my mentor mentioned that thing, but I didn't prepare. So make sure you do, like when you go to the mentorship sections, make sure you have to write down the key things you need to prepare for the interview. Definitely set up the right goals, also very important. But it's just because like in this industry, there are so many positional variables. You don't want to waste your time on searching maybe for one titles, but you find you lack of the skills or requirements, and then you spend the time to switch another position. It do require you have different domain knowledge, and it will waste your time. So make sure you get enough like knowledge from your mentor to know like what's the best career, or what's the best position or industry is best fit for you. I will say like there always a better like a position maybe there, and maybe either for you to land a data job, but just talk with our mentor and they will help you to do some consulting and help you with the best career options. Yeah, so as also salary will be very important. I believe the reason some students not confident, I think the first of all, somehow they in some way I know like a 3 months training or 6 months training, and then you go to the client project, you're working for 3 months or 6 months, and you don't have that confidence to get a high pay. But in the realities, as long you have very solid like knowledge and from the bootcamp, and you do have experience from the bootcamp, and you should be very confident to get that salaries, because that's what the demands and what you can provide. Okay. Okay, great. Let's move on to the next questions. So what are some of the struggle a typical mentee encountered during the job search? Yeah, do you mind just give us some common like struggles, and we can learn from that struggles.
Yeah, so the most common one is not having a clarity of the role or industry which is right for them. So this is pretty common, what I see with the mentees. So maybe yeah, I would also add like how we help as mentors to address these struggles. So that's what I said, right? Like during the first call, the kickoff call itself, we try to address this, like see, like give them a very realistic and clear goal of what they can target. So that's the most important struggle. The other ones would be like jobs are seasonal, right? So like it's not like when you look at Canada, it's not like the jobs are there throughout the year. So usually they are seasonal, and mentees need to be patient sometimes. Like it's most important part, like to be like patient and prepare yourself, right? Like to get prepared. So keep practicing and like continue building their profiles, like add projects or like improvise on what they have, so that once the market opens, they will be ready to grab those opportunities. So that's another important struggle which I usually see with the mentees. And another one would be like coming out of the boot camp, right? Like boot camp is more a team environment. So they'll be working with other students, they'll be working with the instructors, they'll be working with the TAs. But when they move onto the job search, so I think mentees sometimes feel very lonely. So they think they need to go through this alone. So as mentors, it is important to help them keep their confidence high throughout the process, right? Like the job search is like a roller coaster, right? Like you might get an interview request, and then like you might get ghosted. So like yeah, you need to keep their confidence high throughout the process. So that's something which mentors help with. And one more would be information overload, right? So there is too much information on the web. Like you just search for something, you get so many hits, right? Like you search something in YouTube, you have like 1,000 videos of or 100 videos. So so mentees or even courses, right? Like you search for some like A/B testing, and there's 100. Udacity has one, like Coursera has one. There's so many. So mentees usually get lost, and they waste a lot of time in like research. So that's another struggle which is very common. So how mentor plays the role here is like they can help them decide on the best course, because like they have already gone through it, or they know someone who already went through it, and like guide them to those credible sources. Yeah, so those were the common ones I see, those struggles I see in a typical mentee.
Thank you so much. And I also had to sharing some struggles, and I feeling it could be common for some students. Like they are very rushed to the job market, and they have passions. We can feel the passions, but based on our experience, like sometimes you do, like if you rush yourself, you put too much pressure on yourself. I think the better thing to do is making like time schedules, because when you go to interview, in order to get interview, you do have to have working experience, and if you directly pass that like experience, and you may get interview opportunities, uh, and sometimes you can get distracted. You waste your like you use your time to prepare for the interview, but you didn't prepare your time on the client project. So yeah, sometimes it could be happens. So we're gonna recommend make sure you have enough experience and that you're ready to the interview. Then you start to do the job search. Yeah, like trust me, like even you don't have working experience, you still could get interview in some case, not all the cases, but you will find, oh, I cannot answer any question they ask. So which means like even you get this opportunity, that opportunity is very valuable, but you cannot convert that to your your real opportunities. It will be very like a depressed for some student. Yeah, so that's why I want to let everyone knows not everyone can land job in 3 months, but it could happen. Uh, all the bootcamp, like based on my experience, there are always 1 or 2 students able to land a job in 3 months, but not for everyone. Most students should land job in 6 months. Set up the right expectation is very important. Okay, so let's move on to the next questions. Yeah, do you want to share any successful like our alumni like successful story, and maybe want to just share? I know like I do have some lots of students successful story to share, but I want to hear from our mentor. But yeah, so yes, please, if you have some exciting or some interesting story, please share with us.
Yeah, certainly. So something interesting before that is like I've had mentees from different backgrounds. Like you cannot imagine the variety in their background. So I've had like, yeah, when I say I had, like I also have like the current mentees, including the current mentees. So there was a mechanical technician like who used to work in like production line, and so there was a PhD person in chemistry. There was a new grad. There was somebody who was an e-com startup co-founder, ex e-com startup co-founder, and a lab technician, retail material planner, business development executives, and like credit analysts. So it's vast, right? So everybody is unique, and it's interesting to note that like irrespective of the background, so they can be from any background. There has always been a higher rate of success when the mentee was dedicated to the goals we set and ready to complete all the tasks we plan. So that's one of something I wanted to share. And when I think about experience, maybe I'll talk about the new grad. So I had a new grad mentee. So he was a fresh grad in commerce who had interest towards the stock market, and yeah, he mentioned that during the kickoff about his interests, and also like he had a Tableau dashboard on like stock price, like using a Kaggle data set, and it was a good one. And other than that, he also had some big data projects. So yeah, so that's how his portfolio looked initially. But what I told him is like I asked him to make the dashboard project into kind of a full stack one, like something end to end. So I guided him through the project. He used stock price API to retrieve the stock price of selected companies. It's called Alpha Vantage if someone is interested. And once he collected, so how he collected is like he used a Python script to get the raw data from the API. And next he created a SQL DB in MySQL to load the data, and then used SQL Alchemy to get the data to like Python, and then do pre-processing using pandas, and then load the final table back into MySQL DB. And then what he did is like he connected the Tableau desktop to the SQL database to access the table, and then build a dashboard on top of it, right? So yeah, it might sound a little bit difficult for someone who is pretty new in this call, but I tell you, like it's not that difficult. Like you can get the Python script and everything like online, and like when I say like how to access the API and things, right? Like if you search how to access this particular API, or like how to get the key, like you have very direct answers. It's very easy to do it yourself. And I think like loading on MySQL and like creating a schema and then like building a table and all those are covered in the program. If even if you don't know that, it's pretty simple and straightforward. And so instead of having a static data set and building a dashboard, it's better to do something like this, like a full stack one, which adds more credibility. And like this is the way you can like differentiate from others, right? So that's the whole idea of me suggesting this to him. And then what happened is like and then he also worked on a presentation for this project, like to focus on the key insights, outcomes. I asked him to add an architecture diagram because it's a full stack one, and then like potential enhancements for the future, maybe like automation. So all those, yeah. So he prepared a very good presentation, and we practiced presenting it. I helped him with some storytelling. So yeah. So that was the portfolio part. Later, what happened is like he got an interview for BI analyst role. I think it was an asset management company, and where he cleared the screening round, and then like he was sent a case study to respond in like I think 2 to 3 days. Um, but I think he had another job, or like it was not feasible for him with other commitments. So yeah, we had a call and we discussed, and like he said like that it's not feasible. So what I told him is like, okay, maybe you ask them to see like share your stock price dashboard, the full stack one, and check if they're okay if you present this project instead of the case study. So he did that, and I think the hiring manager looked at the project and he said, okay, cool, I'm okay with you presenting this project. And then he got a chance to present it, and yeah, he was well prepared for that. And then finally he got the job. Actually, he interviewed for a BI analyst, but he ended up getting a BI engineer role. He was very happy to land that role. And yeah, I was also happy that it worked out for him.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's very exciting. Yeah, I think every time we have a student land a job, they are so excited, happy, and we are also feel happy because we put so many effort on it, both students, our mentor, and also like our school. Like the way we want is have students successful, and and also land their dream job. Yeah. So and also I do have several stories, and it's very different. I will try to find it like most recent one. So we do have a student, and she used to be a university like a researcher, and focus on the research side. And the advantage of this student is very good doing the prepare for the interview, because she been like working a researcher for a long time, so she very good at reading the documentations and explain that part to the interviewer. So like one day, like she told me, she like when she doing the client project, she told me, Adam, please send me another project, because I found I like to do more project to get more interview. And she just finished her project like in 2 months, and she haven't completed like the first project yet. And she goes through the interview during that process. And right after a week later, and she told me she get a job offer. I was so surprised. Like last week you asked me to get a more project, but like a week later you told me you get a job. And she another surprise, she get a senior position. I'm so totally like surprised by how good she's been past the interview. She has no technical background, and but she do have a master degree. I think that's another reason like she able to land like a senior position, because she put so much effort. I can tell she puts so much efforts on prepare for the interview. But still, not everyone. She's full-time students, and not everyone can spend like that much of amount of time to prepare for the interview, working on the project. Every like individual have different like lifestyle like schedules. But as I mentioned, like that's very surprise for me, and but it may not apply for everyone. But still, like there's one thing you have to know, like the more effort you put on yourself, and the sooner you will get the reward. So if you're interested to get your career switch, and just make sure you have spend that effort, because we will give you the best educations, the best support. But in terms of how soon you can land a job, it's most of case it will be based on your efforts, and also you do need some time, you do need some luck. I will say you may some little bit luck to get that job as well. Okay, let's move on to the next questions. What advice do you have for job seekers who are trying to break into the data industry? I think it's very common question, and also very important questions, like because there are tons of, I will say there are tons of like a YouTube, tons of like information on the website. Sometimes I get confused. Like sometimes there's no future for the data job, and then sometimes like a we like the AI will be replaced in terms of
The
human
robots are
like
coming.
yes, like there are always things coming from internet, and then lots of things not certain or not clear, that we do need some some feedback from expert. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so the most important one is what I usually see is like applying with the same resume, right? Like never apply with the same resume for all the jobs, right? Like one fit all kind of resume does not work. Like I say, like do not spray and pray. So it doesn't work like that. So have a master resume and then create tailored resumes based on the skills required and industry, right? So like after few applications, like if you do that, like after few applications, you will have a bunch of tailored resumes targeted for specific roles, right? Say you have a resume for data scientist in finance, you have a data scientist in healthcare, or like a data analyst in healthcare, or a BI analyst. So you might target different roles, but once you like apply like 10 or 20 jobs, you might have all those tailored resumes for those specific jobs. So initially it's an uphill task of creating a resume for every job you apply. But once you like apply like 20-25 jobs, then you have all the different tailored resumes you need or for those specific roles. So spend that time initially to create those tailored resumes, and then once you apply for few jobs, then it's easy to repurpose those you already created. So that's the most important one. And the next one is don't just go by job titles, right? So the industry has always been innovative to come up with different job titles for the same or similar type of job or role, right? So always go by job tasks and skills. Go through the job description, like read what are the job tasks you need to perform in that role, and then also look at the skills required for the job, and then you can apply. And usually I suggest my mentees to apply when they match around 60-70% or 60-70%, because it's a wish list, right? Like the job descriptions are like a wish list. Most of there are must haves and there are good to haves, right? So it's like a wish list. So only if you don't have the must haves is a high chance you get a rejection. But if you don't have some good to haves, then it's completely fine. Like you can easily upskill on the job, right? So look at the job description and then leverage that, and then also apply based on the skills and not the job title. So that's something. And also I feel our students if you're doing a course in WeCloud, so they usually students are very good with technical skills, because that's what is mostly targeted, right? So they're really good with the technical skills that they gain through education or self-study. And so that part is good usually. Even if they have gaps, it's easy to send them the right resources and they are ready to do that. So but the other part, other than technical knowledge, there's something called domain knowledge, right? So that's something students need to focus on. That's very important. Try to read blogs. Usually companies, if it is tech company, they usually publish blogs on what kind of models they use, what tools they use. So there's a lot of information directly from the companies. And then there are other resources, right? Like you can also look at LinkedIn posts. So all these big executives or senior data scientists do post in LinkedIn, talk about what they work on. So try spending some time. You can spend a hour or weekly. You can just go and see what are the recent posts and what you can try to understand, because it's very important to know how machine learning or BI is being implemented in the business. So it's very important to have that domain knowledge, how it is integrated within the business and how it's adding value. So this can be done by reading these blogs and LinkedIn posts. And also you will get an idea of the business lingo, right? So the terminologies you need to know as part of the domain knowledge, right? Like that you can grasp that through spending your time on these blogs, and it will be really useful during the interview when you use the same lingo as the business. Then they feel like you are somebody, you are kind of an insider, right? So if you can use the same lingo as them, so it's very important to spend some time on the domain knowledge part. Another one would be to have a very strong project portfolio, especially for career switchers and the fresh grads, right? I would say you don't need a lot of projects, but you need to have a strong project portfolio, maybe 2-3 projects. But you should have a presentation for all the projects. It should be you should be ready to present them at any point of the time. You can even ask the interviewer, right? Can I share the screen and present the project. I have a slide or something like that. So you should be always ready to do the presentation for all the projects. You should be able to explain like end to end, right? Like it's your project, so you should be able to answer like why you use something or why something didn't work, or like, yeah, you should have answers to any possible questions. It's just 2 or 3 projects. It's not very difficult to like be thorough with those, right? So and also like I would also I usually tell my mentees to add a slide for future enhancements, because like there's always a room for improvement, right? So, and if you know, like it's just the thought process, right? Like the companies want to know like are you aware of those things? Like what can you do? What are the future enhancements you can do? Maybe an automation, maybe deploy it, or like you can also integrate like backward, right? Like you can do some kind of API or loading the data or something like that. So any kind of enhancement you can add, even if you can't do it, if you're aware of those, it would add value. So have a strong project portfolio, have presentation for all the projects, and also add a slide for future enhancements. And maybe yeah, okay, job application, right? Like do not apply only on the job boards, right? Like uh, that's where everybody goes, right? Like LinkedIn, Indeed. So yeah, it's pretty crowded. So yeah, don't just apply on job boards. If you're applying on job boards, I think you should apply quickly. Once there is like 150 or 200 people already like applied, right? I feel a recruiter who has access to maybe like 150, 200 resumes, even if it's filtered by ATS, maybe they'll get a 50 or 30 or something. So I think they would be pretty confident, right? Like recruiter would be confident to get one person out of those 30 or 50 resumes, which are even filtered, right? So I think if you apply on job boards, try to apply as soon as possible. I know it's it's not that easy, but I would suggest something else. So like try to build your network. Look for posts in LinkedIn where they say hiring data analyst, hiring. So you just search for posts saying hiring DA, hiring DS, or like, any role you want. So that's something you can do. And also build your network, like have some target companies, try to connect with members in those companies, and like try to attend events like where you can network. And then like use LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn, I feel LinkedIn is very underrated. Like you can connect with a lot of people there. Always send a request with a message, right? Like don't just send a request just like that. So always send it with a message. And like yeah, leverage LinkedIn. Like put your projects in the featured post. Follow data science leaders. Interact to their content, right? Like if somebody's posting something, try to interact. Like try to like, it's okay sometimes to like people like I've seen mentees feel like maybe they don't add value by like no interacting, but it's completely fine. They know like you're not they know the stage you are, and just you need to show your curiosity. That should be more than enough. And you can try to connect with your alumni. You can like follow your target companies, like learn more about what they do, right? Like I see a lot of students when I ask them, or mentees, when I ask like what are your target companies, they list down like 5, 6, or 10. But when I start asking, do you like, okay, tell me more about the company, what do they do, what is their product offering, what kind of services categories they have, or like, so once we ask more deep, like they are not aware of like much more detail. So if you have a target company, see to that you know like quite in detail about them. So spend those time. And because it helps in interview, it might look like why do I need to do that, but it certainly helps when you have a chat with a recruiter in that company or a hiring manager in that company. Maybe the final round you will speak with a VP who might who who's not very technical, right? Like, so you will have other topics to speak. So it's very important to be prepared on that front, and also be open to rejections, right? Both in like networking invite, like you send an invite in LinkedIn and then like you get a rejection, don't feel defeated, right? So um, and the same in the job applications, right? So when you don't get a response or you get a rejection, it's completely fine. um, you don't need to worry about that, because jobs, network, and everything is like is limitless. Like, jobs are going to keep coming. Even network, like if this person doesn't accept, like you can go to another person, and then like, yeah. So it's you need to have that mindset, right? So like, don't feel rejected, and like try to keep going. So that's something you need to be like persistent. And another one will be to like, identify your niche. That's something I see a lot of issues, like try to spend a lot of time in identifying your niche, and that's important. And also like the most common one, like, yeah, I didn't talk about it. So yeah, a lot of mentees feel that like, they don't have transferable skills, but that's not true, right? So you've gained a lot of transferable skills throughout your life. Like they are valuable, right? Like in your school, in your internships, in your earlier job, like communication skills, collaboration, like team collaboration, where you work in a team environment. Yeah, absolutely. Data science, data analytics, all these are team sport. Like the collaboration experience you have would add a great value to your job and like your career in data. So you have that experience. Problem solving skills, like it's quite obvious in any field you work, you would have faced problems, and like you have learned how to solve those. Critical thinking skills, like leadership skills, like you might have led some teams, or like led things in school. So there's a lot of transferable skills. You need to be confident on that, and like that are quite, those skills are quite valuable in the job market. And like, no, you need to be very confident about it. And yeah, so other than that, like don't worry much about the skills you don't have. I would not say. Okay, so I've seen some mentees, like even after like we set a realistic goal, like they like, you might feel like, okay, I don't have much data engineering experience or something like that. So like there's no one like who has every skill, right? Like if you are a BI analyst, you cannot worry about not having some other skill, right? So you can learn once you like, get into the industry on the job and all those things. But when you're like, targeting a particular role, don't worry about improving on another like totally different domain. Just read about them, get an idea. It's like you need to know how it works, but you don't need to like know everything, like do projects or something like that. But it's always good to know the entire spectrum, like how things work, what are the tools used. That's completely fine. Know the basics, but don't worry about like being an expert in everything. It's not possible. Like there's no one like that. And yeah, so yeah, I can like, yeah, I can go on, but yeah, I think let's save some time to answer the specific questions. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And also, there's one thing I want to add on. I believe you already mentioned during the previous suggestions, but there's something I want to add on. It's in terms of the your expectation on what you really do in the data scientist job. Because we do have some students, even before they go into the boot camp, like student ask me, do I need to know how to using OpenAI? Do I need to create my own like a Llama, like a data, like a NLP models and some new tech, right? Like pursue maybe the AI or some like a very popular topics. I think I think there's something we had to uh, please correct me if I'm wrong. I was like, you still have to know, like, in the majority on the job market, like on the job market, there's no that high demands in Canada for that skills. Most of the company are traditional company. Their model maybe already been there for maybe long time, and they may not willing to implement any like a like model, even the much like deep learning models in some company. So the reality is uh, like some company you may not need to using most advanced knowledge, but some company they may require, but because we want like our focus on the land job fast, so you have to focus on the chances, like for example, if you want to go to finance company like the banking or the insurance, you may not need to know how to create a chatbot or in some teams, and you don't need to know like OpenAI. That's totally fine. And lots of companies they evolve prevents their employee to using OpenAI just because they worry there are some like important information they do want it to feed to the NLP models. Yeah, so for the daily basis, you're probably just working on the some popular model like XGBoost and some basic like long short-term memories, like basically deep learning models. Like some company even don't let you touch the deep learning models. Depends on your depend on the team project, and I believe like they don't want you to touch very expensive models. They spend so much effort, time, and cost on models, and they ask any junior position to replace it. So in the real world, it may not happen. Don't give yourself too much pressure. Don't take too much response because they will let you know what you should do. As now you go to the interview, and you should feel like what they want. And in the most case, you will expect to start with a very basic models, basic analysis, and even build up like basic models. And you don't have to be like a very experienced expert before you're able to land a job. Yeah, this some my add on to these questions. Yeah. Okay. So
Absolutely. I'm on board on that. You are
yeah,
right on the money.
okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, let's move on to the do we have okay, we don't have any more questions, but we do have tons of questions in the chat. Do you want to answer? I think let's get started from the first one. So we do have a question from Ray Wee, and I'm switching career from real estate investing and the general contracting to AI ML industry. I've been running my own business for over a decade. I've been relevant, sorry, um, relative relative success, but this industry got my attention. So I enrolled a couple of professional certifications to learn the basics. That would be the right path to make in order to get project management and business development join in this industry.
Yeah, if I understand the question, so yeah, so is it more about getting project management or kind of business development in like IT or data science? Yeah, it's quite diluted. So yeah, in terms of professional certificates to learn basics, I think it's data science. Yes. So like yeah, I think it's completely fine to do the professional certificates, and the most important part is to have projects like you might, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I just like
Okay.
repeat.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So yeah. I'm just so yeah. If I understand the question right, so yeah, like if you have enrolled in like professional certificates, it's completely fine to use them to learn the basics. But the most important part is like doing projects, right? Like you need to do projects on your own and like try to like you say like you've been running your own business. I think you might have a lot of data from your own business, so you can think of so when you say running, yeah, I'm not sure what business, but yeah, so uh, if if uh, if it is kind of real estate, then you might have a lot of information on like um, the houses or the commercial sales of the past few years, so you can see how you have been trending against the industry. So you can figure out to use your own data set and then come up with projects which are really unique. It's very important to stand out from others, so always think like how can I personalize my project, so so that like you can differentiate from others. Like people can easily get a data set from Kaggle and then like do projects, but it's very important to see how you can differentiate from others. And if you say project management in data science, I think it's mostly like data science manager, a director. So they are mostly into people management. So that's where project management comes into data science. And business development jobs, I don't think like there's if you say business development job in data science, like if it is kind of like a cloud or like maybe a data science provider, data science solutions provider, then like yeah, you might get business development jobs there, but you don't need kind of experience selling data science products. You can sell any kind of IT products, like solutions. So you can have experience from any other different business development domain to do business development job in like data science or like cloud industry. So there's nothing specific for that. So those are quite common for all the industries.
Yeah, thank you. I think we may need more details because we don't really know his background and what kind of certificates. But definitely, I think everyone should have opportunity to go to this industry. But still, there are few things we have to know, like all this job is only most of the cases will be available for the big company, and only a few startup company they will require like a data scientist or data analysis job because it's going to be very expensive. So which if you want to become more tech background, then I will say still start from the begin like entry levels. Then you shift to the like it's another options, right? So if you just more focus on the tech, like just want to get the taste of how the data scientist or data analyst job looks like, you can try to pursue that position. But in the most case, like as a Sarah mentioned, if you just want to pure project management or business development, you don't need that technical skills, right? So just using your domain knowledge will be good enough, unless you want to become a title as a data scientist, like a project lead or project management lead. In that case, you do need some technical background. Yeah. So we do have another questions, and is it reasonable to want to train for freelancer work? And I'm interested in replacing my current salary, but making more free time to pursue entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I,
So yeah, I can take that. So yeah, I think freelance, yes. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities in the future too. So if you want to build your profile, you need to have your pages in Upwork and Fiverr and all those websites. But before that, you need to show credibility, right? So you need to start working on projects. Um, like Initially, it's difficult to get projects get you paid, right? Like initially, you need to reach out to people to get projects. So I know someone who who just went to stores nearby their location, and then started trying to get projects from the small businesses, trying to say that I can take your data, I can help you collect data, and then work on them, and then maybe build a dashboard for you, a sales dashboard, a basic one. So something like that, and then they get the feedback from them, get a review, and then slowly they build on that. So I would say the most important part is to start working on projects, even to get those projects like from small businesses, right? Like you need a portfolio, right? Like how these web developers work. So you need to show some good projects like dashboards, or maybe a data analytics, or a basic database, like how you build a relational database, how you build them, and how how you can leverage that to query and perform some reports, right? That's what they require. They want to they want to have some specific KPIs. You can define some specific KPIs for businesses, and help them monitor them on a weekly report or something like that. So that's how you can start, and then you can slowly build on that, right? Like once you start getting projects, then you can upskill yourself into more data science projects, ML, and then that's how you can establish. So yeah, so that would be my suggestion.
Great, yeah. I think become a freelancer, you have to be patient. I think there is a loss of not stable income, and also there could be different challenge. So what I'm gonna recommend for if I want to become freelancer, I want to make sure I have enough connection to support my income, right? So if you have some connections, then I will recommend use that connection. But if you don't have that enough resources, maybe just start with a entry level position, and then you can develop your side business if you prefer. It's definitely gonna be uh require more than just data scientist like knowledge if you want to become a freelancer. Yeah. And also we have another question. How soon can one get interviews after joining the bootcamp? Can we connect with existing mentee to get some feedback? If you are from the bootcamp, and all the mentorship will be included in your tuitions, so you don't have to pay for extra. For every student, normally they go to the client project. Like each project will take average 3 months, and so which means you start to apply job after 3 months. At that time, you will receive interview. Sometimes it could be referral, but the majority of our students land job from their job hunt. Because referral is we post it sometimes weekly basis or monthly basis, because there are still you compete not only with students like our other students, you also maybe compete with some student already being client project for 6 months. Yeah, so that's why most of students land job by their own job search. Yeah. I have another question. It's a long questions. My question is about searching for a job in a data engineering. I completed trainings, but not from WeCloudData, and I did several relevant projects to my GitHub portfolio. After that, I applied for numerous jobs, mainly on LinkedIn, with no success. I have some idea on how to change my job search strategy, and it would be a great discuss. It will be great to discuss them with those who understand this job market well. Could you please suggest where I could get such advice? For example, some web form, something like Reddit and the Stack Exchange, or some geared toward data engineering.
Yeah. So absolutely. So I think like first of all, congrats about like making the effort. You have a very good like GitHub portfolio with several projects, so that's on the right path. So like yeah, you are on the right path. But in terms of like applying jobs and like finding people to get advice, right? So you need to start. To build your own brand, right? Like you need to use LinkedIn, like try to showcase all those projects in the feature post, try to like engage with all those specific data engineering groups. I know there is like I think it's called data plumbers or something like that, plumbing. Yeah, there are a lot of groups. I think the plumbing one is based out of Germany. So yeah, you can start following some thought leaders in data engineering, start commenting, and then like try to interact with them, and then go for events. Like you can find a lot of events conducted by even these cloud companies, right? Say for example, AWS, GCP, Snowflake, they do conduct some events where you can like go and then try to like find the like crowd where they discuss about their offerings, and then there's also a networking event where you get the chance to talk to some like high profile members. So because I would say events, because like they like the members have allocated that time to come go to the event and like participate in that. They are not, they don't have anything else like or else their day to day is very busy, right? Like if you are a senior person, your day to day is very busy, but you have blocked out time in your calendar to attend this event, and you're open, like you're going to meet people and you're open about that. So that's a very good opportunity to go to these events and make those connections. Other than that, yeah, use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very underrated. Start creating posts, right? Like maybe create content like once a while. You say you have a lot of projects, right? Like you can put it there and ask for feedback, or like you use LinkedIn, like that's a very good source. Other than that, like yeah, you can go to events and yeah, I think these should be. And also like if you have target companies, try to reach out to those particular members of those target companies, right? Like try to connect with them. And also like data engineering, there's a lot of blogs, right? Like all these companies, Netflix, Amazon, they keep like they blog a lot about what kind of tools they use, like how they are like able to create efficient pipelines, and like there's a lot of information there. You can share them on LinkedIn and put your views about that, say that okay, this is exciting, but maybe you can ask a question. So you can like try to engage, and then that's how you can like create connections. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay, thank you for giving the feedback. Yeah, I believe like you've been trying hard to land the job since you are doing some project, but still just make sure try to make sure your project is has a like good values for you to apply for the job. Uh, I'm not very familiar with data engineering, but what I can tell is some service, like when you go to the job description, if some of service they require like some paid service, like for example, if they using the uh like a like sometimes like they could be build up a pipeline using the Lambda on either AWS, or they using the like for the event trigger, they may using the event bridge, but that's paid like a service. And if you don't list on your resume or list on project without that paid service, and you may not able to land a job. So make sure, even though you do tons of job, but there's less match relevant experience compared with job descriptions. It may not best project. You do need to find a project. They do have that list. Yeah, I think data engineer is just like same as data scientist. There are tons of tools. There are different combinations that will be impossible for you to know everything. So it's very important for you to get a very very like a valuable project, and yeah, make sure I agree with I agree with our mentor. Make sure you get some of the advice on that. Otherwise, sometimes you may have some duplicates of just repeated project, and it doesn't give you much value when you apply for the job. Yeah, I think let's move some examples, and let me just randomly search a job. Since we still have like 20 minutes, and still, if you have any questions, please leave it in the chat. And we're just gonna go some demonstrations, just analysis a data scientist job. Let me just randomly pick. Sorry, let me just randomly pick one job. So for example, if you go to LinkedIn and you're searching for the job, I think about hand over to our mentor to just go through the job description and just help you understand what kind of skills you need and what kind of model you may be in use. And also maybe, I'm not sure if we can get to the salary expectation as well. So let's just give a quick demonstrations. So, okay, so let me increase the size and of this to make it more readable. So the job is from Canada, Ontario House, and it's a government, and it do require a hybrid, and it's contract. It's not. It seems not a full-time job, and it's a medium senior level. So I will skip the job like about this job, and you can do your own search on the LinkedIn. Then just move on to sorry, let me make it smaller. Move on to the job descriptions in here. Here we go. And let me just, sorry. I think the layout is not very friendly when I make it bigger.
Yeah, I think it's quite big enough. Yes, yes.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. I think yeah, in terms of this role, right? Like so okay, it's a public company, and it's mostly based focused on health system planning and like resource optimization and all those, right? So this job would not be suitable for everyone. It would be suitable for somebody who has maybe economics background or yeah, like first let me talk about the background, then maybe about the project. So first, like economics, health economics, city planning kind of experience, or anything regarding that, like degrees, like those kind of people would have a like upper hand, because it might be stats heavy. Like yeah, if you have a degree in stats or health statistics or biostatistician, all those kind of profiles would suit better for this. Other than that, if you have projects, right, like you worked with some kind of clinical data, or maybe you're a PhD, you worked on a lot of like pharmaceutical kind of research or something like that. So this like is quite like kind of niche kind of a role. So in this role, like you might be analyzing large data sets, because health systems, right? Like yeah, the data sets are pretty huge, and you might be like extracting meaningful insights from a large amount of data on health systems, infrastructure, their resource utilization, like all those that. And then predictive modeling, in terms of data science, like you might develop and models to forecast future trends in health system, like what kind of trends can you expect from the available data. And also like mostly these assignments will be optimization projects. Like you might need to work with those stakeholders and to improve like infrastructure planning, resource allocation, because like it's mostly to like cut cost and like improve the resource allocation and like create more value out of the money they spend, right? So yeah, you might have some data visualization projects, like other than that, yeah. So it's quite niche. It's not for everyone. But yeah, you can maybe I can give some suggestions. So whenever you find something like this, go to the um, company's profile and then try to search for similar roles, like maybe data scientists or other data science or data analytics based departments or members of those departments, and see what kind of task they do. Most of the people like add what task they do in day to day, right? Like you can read about that, and you can leverage that information to like see what kind of tasks you will be having in this job. And yeah, so it's a quite it looks very heavy, the overall job description, but I would suggest I think it looks like a wish list. Yeah. So, but yeah, look at the first few skills, like foundational knowledge on machine learning techniques, and yeah, tabular and time series. Yes, time series, because yeah, the data, like health data, if you have worked with kind of like health data, you know how the data looks like. So it's always very huge. And yeah, they say tabular. So yeah, so if you have experience working with like stocks and other kind of time series data, you can like demand forecasting or something like that. Like, I'm just saying like how you can connect to that. Like even if you don't have a direct experience, but you can try to say that like I have something very close, but it's not health data, but it's similar kind of data I've worked on, and these are the projects I've built on that, something like that. Yeah, proficiency in R or Python. Yeah, I think yeah, I'm a Python guy, so yeah, don't ask me about R. But yeah, so yeah, that's a must. Yeah, Python, SQL are like are the most important skills in data science, right? So they say SQL as yes and excellent. Yeah. So in terms of knowledge and skill, it's quite straightforward. It's not loaded. So I think yeah. So but yeah, it's also about what kind of industry you want to work with, right? Like if you don't get excited with clinical data and like health system data, or like, so yeah, don't like yeah, don't push yourself to apply for something just because it looks good. You see to that, like you'll be able, like it's at least like a little bit interesting for you to work with. So yeah, and it's a contract role. So yeah, you can decide looking at that. Yeah.
Great, great. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I think it. Uh, I think since because it's more from the government, it doesn't give much details on what exactly what it's doing. But still, I think very good strategy is looking. I believe from our mentor is looking to the person who working in that system and they're looking at their job description, and that's maybe be there for you to figure out. Yeah, there's no much information, but definitely it could be a large amount of data. I'm surprised they didn't put any like a cloud platform requirement on this job. Yeah, for me, I feel like there should be some like big data knowledge on this position. Okay, yeah, maybe they haven't migrate their data to the cloud yet. There could be another possible. Okay, okay, thank you for sharing this insight. And also, I have another. Actually, this is very good questions, and we have Sandy asking. There are a lot of people applying for data scientist job, the job available. Some job have more than 200 and 400 or even 600 plus applications. What can we do to stand out? Yeah, that's true. That's the reality. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, as I said, right, like if they already have 200 plus resumes, I think they are pretty confident they can hire one person. So don't waste time on applying for jobs more than 200, right? And like the best strategy is to apply as soon as the job get posted. But yeah, I know it's very difficult. So that's that's the best way to stand out. The next best way is to like connect, right? So uh, don't just apply and wait. Maybe like no, try to connect to a recruiter or directly the hiring manager, and don't spend a lot of like don't need to send a lot of information. Just say why they need to hire you, or like how you can add value to, like how you think you can add value to that particular role, right? Like you just need to try to connect with send a connection request with the message of why or how you can add value. You can say, hey, I've just applied for this role and I believe I can add a value to this by so and so and so, or these are my skills and I believe something like that. So within like those number, I think it's few characters, right? Like 300 or 200. So you need to like no concise it, and then like send those messages to those particular individuals. You can search, go to the company, look for like recruiters or technical recruiter, or you can look for data science and then see if there is a data science manager or advanced analytics manager or a lead or even a senior data scientist. You can try to reach out to them, and that's the second best strategy. So first one is to apply as soon as possible. Second one is to reach out to people. Third one is to like have a very customized resume, right? Like so huge companies, like when the company is big, right? Like they most probably have a ATS, so they have the budget to buy an ATS. So if it is a SME or a small company, they might not have the budget. They might like individually go through those resumes to filter candidates. But big companies usually have ATS subscriptions, so they just run these resumes against the job description, and it's just scoring, right? Like a vector match, and then like they give scorings, and then they pick the top ones, and then just look at the first like 20, 30, or maybe 40. So um, so it's very important for you to customize your your resume. So there are a lot of tools like job scan and so on, but the most simple thing is just copy paste the whole job description. Go to I think it's called freewordcloudgenerator.com. Just go there, paste the job description, and then run the word cloud. It would remove all the stop words. It does everything you need, and then it gives the top words used in the resume. Try to use the same jargons in same words. So it gives the top words in the job description. Try to use the same words in your resume, like so that like you get a higher score. There are tools like job scan and few more where you can paste both the job description and the resume and see like your scoring. Try to improve the scoring. Maybe first time you hit 70, maybe try to change words, use the same lingo, and then like see how much you can improve. So yeah, something like that can help you like beat the ATS and then come up on the the list, right? So these are the three things. Try to apply as soon as possible. Use word cloud generator, and the other one is like try to connect with people in the company which has posted the job role. Yeah.
Thank you for Sarah to join this section, and I very appreciate your insight and your experience sharing. I believe lots of audience can learn like a lot of things in these sections. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, and I trust our audience had gained some useful insights from today's session. And good luck to all those of all those of the audience who are trying to land a job in data.